my fellow knights. Again, I just hit level 60, and you are looking at the most powerful knight in the whole of Arcanum. Well, maybe not the whole of Arcanum, maybe just the Covenant. Oceanic region, maybe Sutek server. That's using a greatsword, that's melee. That only just hit level 60 in the last few days. That's first name starts with a K and last name ends with an N. And probably then just second. But I'm ready for OPR. And these little noobs are going to feel the wrath of my sword. So I hit level 60. I rocked into an OPR ready for some action. I've got like less than 500 gear score. And my weapons aren't even fully leveled up. I think my hatchet is at like 11 and my greatsword is at 17. But that wasn't going to stop me. That wasn't going to stop Camo Chameleon. However, this might. Yeah. I'm sure that was just a once-off. Oh, fuck! So then I thought, let me try Mage, and let me tell you, quite the stark contrast. And that sort of sums it up perfectly. I was 9th on a Mage where I had like 11 skill points into Firestaff and Ice Gauntlet. And I was 7th place in terms of kills. Now, I know that those were kind of kills that I didn't, like it wasn't just like a 1v1, but I think that's how you, I mean, at this lower level with this lower gear score, like my gear score wasn't even 500 yet, my skill points was maxed out. That's how you have to play. You have to play with the group or you're not going to survive. And Mage was just infinitely better. So there's been a lot of checking the PvP rewards because I'm just desperate for that resilient gear like I find here. So that's what I'm hunting for. And of course there's the getting your gear score up, which is also super important in helping me not die over and over and over. The problem is melee is just so much fun. I mean, look at this guy. Wouldn't you be honored to die with such a badass looking dude?
Hey, what gear is that?
Like
Did you buy that?
no, what? No. Some daft someone came and gave it to me. Daft. Cool guy. So the new rule is, now that I'm level 60,
okay.
I don't attack people that are under level 60, because I feel like that's just a dick move. So I went in again, I was a little bit more careful, and I really just think if you're going to be successful at low levels on a melee, you've really just got to play with your team, and make sure that you're very aware of where you're standing, making sure you're trying to stand on their heels, and just be patient and back off when you need to. I also need to duel more, because I haven't really dueled on the greatsword, so I have no idea what I'm doing. So that's something I need to improve on, for sure. Still a lot of this though. Oh. So I'm just a little bit like, to hell with this then, I'm going to go Mage and make my life a little bit easier, because staying ranged is always going to be easier. And plus, like, as I've said multiple times, I've played Mages and other MMOs, so I kind of know what I'm doing more. And so I could be super squishy on a Mage and not die very much. But, you know, same is definitely not true for melee. And a little bit of that is just my experience, granted. Having played Mages before, not played melee before, but I do think Mage has some inherent advantages, because effectively you don't want to be hit as a Mage, and so you've got a lot of skills to stop you from being hit, so being squishy is not as much of a detriment because you're built up to not get hit in the first place, you know what I mean? Whereas with a melee, you're going to have to take some damage, and then when you're super squishy, it's just lights out, really. So I've been running around this area. I don't know, I've just started calling it the Five Fingers, because if you look at there's like these little these little rivers that break up into these little fingers, and I just started calling it the Five Fingers, and so if you ever hear me say that, that's why. But it's just a really good place for getting herbs, for getting linen, and for getting bulrush, and for getting, yeah, and at the moment, I am trying to level up my arcana and my armoring, and so this is like a really good place to come and run around and grab those mats, so that's what I spent a good deal of time doing. Yeah, because one of the reasons was that I chugged through so many potions in that OPR, so I'm definitely going to be spending a lot of my time at the Five Fingers, getting the mats for potions, and I'd also like to level up so I get it to 150 so I can start making myself the, what do you call them, the super strong ones, whatever they're called, but the best ones. So, yeah, leveling up my arcana because that'll help me get better weapons as well as get some potions, which is like really, really good. Also doing chest runs to get the expertise up, and get the gear score up, which at my squishy self at the moment is still a bit of a challenge, but we'll get there. Basically, like I've said before, I think I've said in this video, I'm really, really after resilience. That'll make a big help with PvP. And then a new run I'm having to do is, like, well, I'm having to run around and get all these things like the Bumble Blossoms, because then that makes it easier to make the potions, so... Yeah, new routes, new runs.
First of all,
I found myself on the Mage doing stuff that I used to only ever do on my Bruiser, but in terms of survivability it really helps. So here I stupidly run to the middle and realize I'm the only one out there. So I'm at really low health, no stamina, but I just run into the heals. So that's one thing about playing the Bruisers, you've always got your eyes on the heals. Heals have back up to fill, you don't have to drink a potion. Free tip. See big IQ moves from Camo. No, but it really does help with survivability. If I'm like fighting in the group, and I mean, just go stand in the hills. Like you can stand in them just like the Bruisers can. You've got flamethrower, well, I do at the moment. So just go stand in the hills. It'll increase your survivability massively, and you can be in the fight. Or if you're getting attacked by a bow or a musket, go stand in the hills, because not only will they heal you up, but often the bow and musket people find it harder to hit you because you'll be surrounded by your own teammates. So your teammates are kind of being your meat shields. Your line of sighting through your teammates. And so one of the advantages about being a mage too is you can keep your distance or push in depending on the situation. So like you can, with a melee you have to be aggressive because you have to get into the thick of battle. Like you won't be able to hit them unless you're right in their face. But as a mage you can sort of keep your distance when you need to. Like if it's a bit hot, you just sort of keep your distance. You see how I'm using line of sight here, so as soon as someone starts to attack me, I just dodge around the line of sight. And that's just because like, I'm only like 2 shots away from being killed. So I'm keeping my distance here, but then I see them like in trouble. I know I can push up because I can see we've got our own heals down. So I just go stand in our heals and flamboy them right into the node. See some guys actually shooting me because I'm standing in the heals and I'm surrounded by teammates. It's just a non-issue. Yeah, it's this little punk up here. Yeah, you run away from my fireballs. Obviously, attribute food is getting important now as well. So, I'm making potions, making attribute food, just getting it all ready. At the moment, I'm a little undecided between Mage and Melee. I know that Mage is definitely more effective, but I feel like Melee is more engaging. So, it's like... And then I finally do it, gang. I finally get my armoring to 150, which is epic because now I can make 500 gear score items, which is kind of where I'm at. So I was pretty super stoked about that. That was like a pretty major crafting kind of goal for me. So it was kind of cool to reach there. And then I realized, holy shit, now I can make the best wizard hat in existence. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce you to the infused silk robe headgear. I mean, look at that erect hat. It is just an icon of power, of fire and ice. I want it, and I make it. Also make myself a little fishing pole, finally, so I can start catching some fish, which I actually think I need for some of my attribute foods. So yeah, at least I'm getting myself prepped for that. Also make myself some honing stones. Honestly, these things I'd get so cheap on the trade houses. Sometimes it can be a little bit like, oh, I wish I could buy it. But it also feels really, really good when you know you've made it yourself. You just got to prep for battle, you know, like they would have done in the days where they had fire staves. I actually get my teammate killed here, which I'm pretty proud of. So you can see that I get hit by a bow and then a musket, and then I run past him, and then he doesn't run behind line of sight, and then he gets shot, and they were aiming at me.
Oh gosh. I'm dead. That's the first death I've ever had an OPR on this character.
Really?
Yeah.
Really? I think I'll add that to my kill total at the end. I swear to God, I can be more aggressive on my mage than I can on my melee, which is crazy. So I think one of the things about playing ranged or a mage is being able to predict what's going to happen before it happens, and then you should stay safe, and you can actually be quite squishy, but be really hard to kill. Like, you can hear me say here, like, predict what's going to happen. Like, listen to what I say here. Yeah, I start backing up the hill because they're going to come rushing out. So I basically say these guys are about to come rushing out, so let's make sure we're back up the hill so we don't get separated from our group. And literally, as I say it, the guys come out. Now, I'm not saying that because to say that I'm cool, although I am. It's just to basically say it like, if you can read the battlefield or things like that, you should never die because you'll always be in a position where they can't get to you. Honestly, the leveling of the gear has gone up so actually fast. Like, it's a lot easier than what I remember. They must have increased it. Should we go to, oh, no. I attacked this small guy who was level 38. First, there was Merlin and Gandalf, and then that little shitty person, Harry Potter, and then the greatest wizard of all time, Camo bloody chameleon. Took me a while, but then I finally realized, oh my god, you can convert materials with the Masterwork Material Converter. So finally I've got something to spend faction points on. And finally the bottleneck of the wire weave and all the other stuff holding me up when I've got 1,000 of the others is no more. So at least that's one little blockage out of my crafting campaign that has been removed. So I was actually really happy when I discovered that. Or rediscovered that. And with those new mats, I make myself a new robe. Looks a little bit, I don't know, I don't really like it. A little bit kind of, he's sort of running the homeless look. A little too much leaning towards the homeless look, I feel like. I know that mages are supposed to look a little kind of, you know, wearing robes and understated, but this is kind of getting, you know, a little too understated. A little like hasn't got a home understated. And then I'm back out at the Five Fingers, collect my mats, and then this wizard. Actually, I don't know if they're a wizard. I'm the wizard. But someone dares cross my path. And so with my amazing aim, I lay my fire into them. But yeah, no, I chase after them. You'll see how great my... Look, I've literally missed about 8 shots in a row. So yeah, I've really got to work on that aim. But I chase after them. And it turns into a little bit of a chase. You might hear the lovely sounds of Christopher in the background, who's my favourite streamer. I used to watch him at ESO. Also doing an PvP Ironman, so I was kind of watching him as I was picking up my mat, so that's why you can hear him chatting away in the background. He's not talking to me, he's talking to everyone. Christopher, if you're watching, I miss your streams, man. It's just different time zones, can't seem to catch them. But anyway, I managed to capture this guy. And then I'm left with the decision, sort of wading through the water there a little bit, and then I'm like, how dare you try to get silk while I'm standing here trying to attack you? He tries to go for the attack, but I'm a little too evasive. So this is the good thing about Mage, you're just going to be evasive and avoid all attacks. He runs off, I'm finally landing my shots, I'm getting them low, but then I also am very keenly aware that there's some silk sitting behind me, and so I think, you know what, I'll just take the silk. So... yeah, I think my priorities might be getting a bit fucked. friends. I'm finally here at level 60. And if I thought the road to 60 was hard, this is proving more difficult. I'm a squishy Donny, that's for sure. But I'll see it through. And just got to get some resilience on my gear and get that gear score up, and things will get a little bit easier. And then there'll be some more PvP and some more dungeons, and it'll be fun. Just still loving the Ironman, so I hope everyone else is enjoying it. Thanks for coming, and once again, I'll leave with you listening to the Ever Fellas.